Kurt Roth, and this is the 505 Sports Venture Foundation program. Glad to see that you all got through Thanksgiving. I know everyone's feeling a little chubby. Hope you enjoyed it and your family didn't drive you nuts. I had a great Thanksgiving. I listened to nobody, saw a bunch of basketball. So I want to welcome everyone back. And before we get to our first, our only guest today, a very special guest for those in Albuquerque who follow basketball, I'm here again to just remind you, 505 Sports Venture Foundation needs your help. We're in New Mexico. We don't have Bill Gates knocking down the door. We don't have Jeff Bezos knocking down the door. We need you. We need you to chip in whatever you can to help support student athletes at the University of New Mexico. This is a team effort. We all can buy stock in the Lobos right now. Doesn't matter what team you're rooting for, if you have a specific athlete, if you have a specific program, anything you want, we can create a situation where your contribution makes a difference for the student, athlete, for the UNM program, and as a result for the University of New Mexico, City of Albuquerque, State of New Mexico. We need to all do this as a team. So I'm asking you, take a look, 505sports.org. There's many different ways to donate. We need your help. We need you to get involved, and we will be a success. Okay, I finished asking for money. We'll be right back with our special guest.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Scout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, my mom.
As Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together
Pull together.
to make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, destroyed, brah. You're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for sticking with us. All right, I promise you I have a special guest, and I do. Here on my right is a familiar face to many people in Albuquerque. My good buddy, Brandon Mason, a.k.a. B. Mace. How you doing, man?
All right, how you doing?
Good to see you. All right, well, people know B. Mace for a lot of different ways. And we can talk. We're going to get, for those who don't know, we're going to get a little background here about how he's involved in New Mexico. He's a Chicago guy. So how the heck's he in Albuquerque? He's the king of Albuquerque basketball, New Mexico basketball, seriously. But let's talk about that first before we get into the ABC prep stuff. You came out of Chicago and you wound up at New Mexico State. How'd that happen?
Well,
I had a relationship with one of the coaches on staff named Thomas Trotter. Also, Russ Bradberg, Lou Henson, some big Chicago guys. Had a lot of Chicago ties. There was already 6 or 7 guys from Chicago on that basketball team. So when I went on a visit to New Mexico State, it just seemed like a good fit. Even though I was far away from home, I still had a lot of Chicago feel with coaches and players. And I just wanted to, spread my wings a little bit, get away from Chicago, get outside of that city feel, and just fell in love with Las Cruces, and it was a good decision.
Well, great. And in those days, we're going back into the Stone Age of college basketball. No transfer portal. You kind of made a decision, and if it didn't work out, it was hard to transfer. You had to sit out a year. People weren't really active in that. So you spent your college career at Las Cruces.
Yeah, all 4 years. And, after my first year, I didn't play a lot. And in this day and age, people transfer right away. I remember calling my dad, and I was just like, Dad, I'm not getting the playing time. Like, I should be playing, what have you. And my dad said, look, you made a decision. You're going to stick it out, and you're going to finish it out. And I just remember, deciding to go back to New Mexico State as a sophomore. I ended up starting the next 3 years and having a good career. But if I would have left after my freshman year, in which I considered, I never would have accomplished that.
Well, you had great guidance from your parent, and we all know, many of us know his dad, Mean Gene. Tell us about him a little bit. What did he do? What did he do in Chicago?
My dad, he did play college basketball at Chicago State, but he was Chicago Public Schools principal for over 25 years. He was Education of the Year. He started young men's organizations and helped a lot of kids back in Chicago. And he's a very known basketball and educationer, but he was a fantastic father and mentor for myself.
Yeah, he is a quiet, tough guy. That's what you wouldn't know it. You meet him, he's low key. Then he starts to. I've been on the road with him, sat with him at quite a few ball games, and he can tell a story, and you're like, whoa, Public school in Chicago is a thing, It's not a walk in the park, and to get the name Mean Gene, you had to earn it. Anyway. So let's talk a little bit about the New Mexico State career. Played for Lou Henson, one of the great college coaches of all time. You had a lot of success. Well, people want to know, how'd you guys do against the Lobos?
You know what? In my career in 4 years, I think we won 5 games and lost 3. I was in the era right between Kenny Thomas when he left and the year Danny Granger got there and was redshirting. So that was the Reuben Douglas era.
Okay.
So I did have to guard Reuben Douglas, who averaged 28 a game. That was a difficult matchup for myself, but we did have some success against the Lobos.
Okay, all right. Modest. That's modest. Well, one of the things, and you probably don't remember this, how would you describe, before I get to it, how would you describe your game?
My game?
Yeah.
You know what? I was a team player. I did what the coach asked. I was a defensive stopper until I guarded Reuben Douglas. And it was about team. I led the team in assists and steals 3 consecutive years. It was never about scoring for me, but I was an athlete.
Okay. Now, you once told me, under the new situation with the video camera and the review, your career might have been a little different. Why?
I kind of took the Chicago tough guy thing to the court a little bit too much. I played a little dirty, and with the replay and the way things are now, I probably would have been in foul trouble every single game.
So it's a little different game. Do you see, as a fan, and you watch basketball from little kids all the way through college, do you see a difference in the game because of those rules?
Definitely. They definitely protect the player. It's more offensive driven. That's why it's hard to defend guys. I always say, if you put Michael Jordan in today's game, he would probably average 60 just because you really can't touch him, and that is in the favor of the game to make the game faster, more points on the board. I get it. But back in the day, it was just a tougher grind, and you could get away with more of cheap shots, fouls, hammering guys,
Just solid defense.
Solid defense, right, exactly.
I don't know about cheap shots. Well, and you grew up watching Michael Jordan and then having to get past the Detroit Pistons and guys like Charles Oakley on the Knicks, and it was a whole different. It was a different sport then.
It was tackle football without a helmet.
Okay. All right. We're headed to our first break, but in your college career, who was the top player you played against?
Eddie House. As a freshman, we played at Arizona State in the NIT, and I had to guard Eddie House. And I remember he broke the school record, and they stopped the game and gave him the game ball.
While you were there?
While I was guarding him.
And what did the coach say about that?
He said, well, you're not a freshman anymore. This is postseason. You're really a sophomore. Good luck.
Eddie was that good, huh?
He was extremely good, quick, and can shoot the cover off the ball.
Yeah, not many people know this. He's still leading scorer and the leading assist guy in Arizona State history.
Definitely, and I was a part of it.
Anyway, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back with B. Mace. Hang in there.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, welcome back to next segment of our show, 505 Sports Venture Foundation Program. I'm here with Brandon Mason, a.k.a. B. Mace. One thing before we get into what he's really doing now is a lot of you out there don't know what a Rolodex is. Before we had a phone, you used to keep your phone numbers on a Rolodex, one little sheet of paper, and it just had a lot of cards and it rolled around. And I will tell you that I've practiced law for almost 40 years. I know a lot of people. If we still had a Rolodex, B. Mace would have the biggest Rolodex in the world. There's hardly a person, especially in the basketball world, but outside the basketball world, that he can't get in touch with and doesn't know him. And one other thing, and I don't want to blow too much smoke, I never had anyone say a bad word about him. So let's talk about it. Well, first, it's been announced quietly, but 505 SVF is a partner and part of ABC Prep, which is a not-for-profit, also like 505 SVF. ABC Prep is a New Mexico not-for-profit corporation. So we have, part of the goal of 505 SVF was to create a whole pathway for kids at the early age to not only to get off the streets, to play sports, not necessarily go Division I, not necessarily go to the University of New Mexico, but to make Albuquerque and New Mexico a better place to live. So Mace has done that. He's also got a school, ABC Prep. Tell us about ABC Prep. You're now a recognized school by the NCAA.
Yeah, so, going into year 3, we're able to become NCAA certified, partnering with Premier Prep, which is out of Arizona. This provides an opportunity for the kids to have college coaches come to our school, to our facility, and watch the kids at practice, because now we're NCAA certified school. We're doing things the right way. This year alone, we've had University of New Mexico State, Colorado, Utah, etc., come into our gym and watch our kids and give them an opportunity to be seen. We have a ton of New Mexico kids. We probably have 15 to 18 New Mexico kids, and then we have kids from out of state as well. That includes France, Australia, Chicago, Phoenix, Ohio. So what we're doing now is, while continuing to help our community, we also have kids coming from out of state as well. Being lucky to have a staff like I do, we've had Darice Gary, who played for the Lobos, Chris Perez, who played for the Lobos, Darren Prentice, who played for the Lobos, Jamal Washington, Ben Miller, Mike Dañez. Those staff members have really been able to uplift these kids and give them more hands-on coaching and strength and conditioning with Christina Gary. It's really helping these kids with their opportunity in Division I like experience or Division II like experience.
So altogether, how many students now at ABC Prep?
Right now, we're at 23 students.
Okay. And is there a goal to get bigger?
Yes, we want to improve every year. We want to expand internationally and have an international team, a national team, 2 post-grad teams, a JV team. We want to get that number well above 50 because the more kids that we can help, the better it is for our community. In the last 18 months, we've sent over 25 kids to college, and 5 went Division I.
Wow, you can't beat that. So, hey, and I'm gonna talk about it for Mace, because I'm always asking you guys for money. ABC Prep can use your support. They can go to your website.
Yes, they can go to abcprepacademy.com, and they can come and help us and support us, and we need all the help we can get.
They need scholarships. They need funds for just facilities. Some of the staff is working for the minimum wage or less. It's a great organization. It's really crushing it. And again, we need public support. I know we're asking you for a lot of money, but this is good stuff. It's great for the kids. It helps them get educated. It keeps kids off the street. And it's great for the community. It's great for Albuquerque. It's great for New Mexico to have a place that's now become regionally known. Correct?
Definitely. Every gym we go into, everybody knows us.
And now the future is bright. We can bring events into Albuquerque that create tourism and benefit the economy. You have one coming up.
Yes, we have the grind session will be coming here December 29th and 30th, which will have 14 teams from Canada, Florida, Phoenix, from all over that'll be coming, staying in hotels, eating at our restaurants, playing in high-level games here in our community. And then January 11th through 14th, the EIBC is coming, which they'll be bringing 16 teams from out of state, from all over. In February 13th through 16th as well. So bringing 3 high-level events. We'll have college coaches come in. The recruitment here will help. They'll help the high schools as well, because those college coaches that come in and watch the prep teams, they're going to go to other high schools and see who's in town as well. So it uplifts high school basketball. It uplifts prep basketball and our entire community.
Well, there you go, New Mexico. I mean, it's a perfect way to benefit the community. Is ABC Prep. Again, you can go to the website, check it out. Any help that you can give this group is valuable. There's no donation that's too small. There's no community event you can do that we would reject. We'd love to partner with any other local business. It's a win-win situation. All right, before we take a break, you just came back from a tournament?
Yeah, we went to the Lighthouse Classic in Mississippi. My first time ever being there, but we got a chance to play against Moravian Prep, which is a top school in the country, and they have top 100 players, 7 Division I basketball players, 1 committed to the Ellis brothers, who are kind of like social media famous. We did lose 2 games, but we did have some good performances. Christian Gilliland from Memphis averaged.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Hey, Dad, I'm gonna go out.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're here for our third and final segment of our 505 SVF show. Again, I'm here with my friend and special guest and business partner, B. Mace, Brandon Nason. And before we kind of talk a little bit about some other basketball, you got one player who kind of is a little bit special to you, who's still young, but getting all sorts kind of attention. Let's talk about your kid.
Brandon Mason Jr. I didn't expect that one to come, but you know what? It's just fun to see him grow up from a ball boy at University of New Mexico and UNLV and all these places to now being a 6'4", 6'5" freshman in high school and getting some national attention and have 4 Division I offers already. It keeps him hungry. He's been in the gym. He's working out with Doris Gary and doing a good job of we went back to Chicago and played on the grind session. It was a chance for him to see all of his uncles and cousins and granddad, and he had the best showing that he could ever have. He scored 22 points, and we won a game, and he really played probably some of the best basketball I've ever seen him play at a high level. So he's definitely coming into his own, and we're just going to keep working on his body and his mind and keep him.
What's the most important thing they need to do? And what does he need to do?
What he needs to do is just realize that he hasn't accomplished anything yet. That, he has to continue to get better. He has to continue to, it's about his mental more than anything. And so keeping him down to earth and realizing that he's still a kid and enjoying life, and that just because you're good at basketball doesn't mean you're a good person, and that there's more to life than just basketball. And if I keep his mental right, he's going to achieve whatever he's supposed to.
Whatever he wants. Awesome. Yeah, he's a great kid if you get a chance. Hey, and anybody out there, you want to go see ABC Prep play, let's go. We just talked about 2 tournaments. We'll have a bunch of kids out there. Come on out to the gym. The first tournament's at Manal,
December 29th. And difference in training and the way that they do things overseas. And that's what I'm trying to build at ABC. That's why we have ABC Basketball Club, because they have clubs overseas where these kids grow up in the same club all year, and they get to see these college basketball players, high school basketball players, and pros grow up in one club. So they're learning the feel of year-round basketball. They can see it at a high level from kids, from youth all the way to pro. And that's one thing that I'm trying to create here at ABC Prep, all the way to the staff. And then, Scott Bamford being a local legend who's actually making even a bigger name for himself. I'm happy just to have him a part of it and him leading the way. And then, just where we're going in the future with this thing and just trying to continue to grow. And having it here was spectacular for 1 year, but now we just need the support, and we'll keep adding pieces to it. And we got to the Sweet 16 this year. So next year, hopefully we can try to go win it all, because we know that we're good enough and we have the staff for it.
Well, there you go. The city and state. So we're asking you, come on board, 505sports.org,
ABCPrepAcademy.com.
Academy.com. And if you see us on the street or at a Lobo game, come up, talk to us, ask what you can do for your city and state. Again, thanks for being here. We're going to wrap it up, and we see you next week. Go Lobos, go ABC Prep. Talk to you soon. Cool.
point for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres.
They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain.
Who's that?
That's your new buddy in jail.
I'm going out, Grandma.
When are you coming home?
I'll be home late. Don't wait up, okay?
Be careful, mijito.
Love you, Grandma.
Mijito, he's a good man. Sometimes he just makes bad decisions. I tell him, mijito, cuidado. Be careful. You might hurt someone.